I thought this was just going to be another road trip, but somewhere between a family funeral and visiting my friends in Motala and 4 nights of a car camping in Åland, and one of the very strange nights where I woke up in the middle of the night on a mountain. I realized this journey was teaching me something much bigger. It also reminded us that our body don't always cooperate with our plan. Towards the end of the trip, my partner LG's, he has a very severe shoulder pain, and it became so bad that we have to change driver on the last day. And by the time we finally arrived home, I was so mentally exhausted that I couldn't even upload my usual Sunday video. But looking back, I wouldn't change this trip for anything. Let me show you why. If you are new here, my name is Esti. I am a Singaporean living in North Sweden. I make videos about simple living, frugal travel, and life as a highly sensitive person. If that sounds like your kind of adventure, let's go. In this video, we drove across Sweden, visited a family for a funeral, and stayed with my friend Michelle and Robert for 2 nights before we head on a ferry to Åland. And then we spent 4 nights sleeping in our little car. We ate mostly simple and easily packed food that we brought with us, and somehow this became one of the most peaceful trips I've ever had. But one night, something outside happened in our car that woke me up. And honestly, I have no idea what it was. I'll tell you later. And at the end of this video, I will review exactly how much we spent on this entire trip. If you have been following me through my channel, you know that we often travel down south to Jönköping to visit our friends and family. But this year, we did something different. We drive the inland road instead of the E4 highway. The reason why we do that is because it is less traffic, and I think also LG do understand that driving on E4 is kind of stressful for me, being a HSP person. By driving inland, we can explore places that we have never been before. We decided to split the trip so that it is not exhausting for the car and for us. We stopped by at parks by the lake and did a little hike into the mountains and explore a cave, and also a few other hidden gems along the way. This road trip wasn't just a holiday. The first reason we traveled all the way from north to the south of Sweden was to attend my partner's uncle's funeral. His uncle, Bosse, was someone who meant a great deal to the family. I've known him for years, and he's such a compassionate, loving person. And I could clearly see how much he's going to be missed, loved, and respected. As a highly sensitive person, I often absorb the emotion around me. Walking through the church, seeing family members embracing one another, hearing the beautiful music and song, and watching everyone say farewell, I could feel the weight of the moment. It reminds me that life is precious and that life with the people we love is something we should never take for granted. I'm very grateful that we made this journey, even though it was a long drive. Being there wasn't about the distance or the cost. It is about being present for the family, when they needed us. After the service, we spent time with the family, sharing stories, laughters, and memories of Busan. I realized that even in a moment of grief, there is comfort in being together. Sometimes we travel simply to remind the people that we love that they are not alone. For me, this part of the trip is also to set the tone for everything that follows. It makes me slow down, appreciate the quiet moments, and realize that this journey wasn't just about rushing from one attraction to the other. It became a journey of gratitude, reflection, and spending meaningful time with people who matter most. Before I show you the beautiful places we've visited Åland, I want to share this part of the journey with you too, because it is part of the story and part of the reason why this trip touched my heart so deeply. After spending another night with LG's cousin, we proceed to Motala to visit my friend Michelle and Robert. It was quite hot that weekend, but we managed to do some sightseeing. We went swimming at the beach and visited one of the beautiful lakes called the Blue Lagoon. The journey from Motala to the ferry is about 3 hours. When we reached there, we realized that the ticket was sold out. So we have to wait for another 5 hours. While waiting, we thought we took the car and explored the area. And we found one really nice beach where we could have our lunch there. So we went to the supermarket, bought with us some chicken and some potato salad, and we ate our lunch at the beach. So as I'm walking back to our car, you know what I saw? Look here. This is wild strawberry smoothie. They are so delicious, and it's all over the place here and inside. Oh my god, there's more inside. And after that, we proceed to the harbor 2 hours before. We were shocked when we arrived. We thought we were early, but there was already a lot of car there. So we joined the queue and entered the boat. Everything was so easy, and we had our dinner with the food that we have left over from lunch and ate them on the boat. By doing that, we saved quite a lot of money because there was a buffet on the boat. We arrived in Åland at around 10 o'clock in the evening. Now we must first find a place to stay. Åland is not like in Sweden. I think Sweden is more flexible, but in Åland, you can camp in the neighborhood as long as you are not too close to a private property. We found one camping site which was quite ideal, facing the sea, but then we realized it was too close to a house, and there was an owner of the house that came out and looked at us. He didn't do anything, but we knew that we have to move. And luckily, we found a camping site in the forest near a camping. It was really good because there was a toilet there where we could use in case we need it. If you wonder how we choose our campsite, I think first of all, it has to be quiet and it has to be safe. And if there is toilet nearby, even better. And we also try to keep away from the traffic and private property. And of course, if with a beautiful view, will be a bonus. And most importantly, it has to be a legal parking place. When we wild camp in Åland, we stay near camping ground, which has a toilet and some facility. You may need to pay a small fee if you want to use the electricity. I think the electricity was like €7. And if you want to stay there and have a tent, it costs around 15 to 18 euro. But we didn't do that. We stayed just near the camping ground, and there is already a free public toilet where we can use in case we need that. Our second night in Åland was probably the most unforgettable one. We chose to camp near Novik Tower, one of the oldest defense tower of Brumasund Fortress. And during the day, it was absolutely beautiful. Standing on top of the hill, surrounded by old canoe and looking out across the sea, it felt peaceful and full of history. This place was dated back to 1800, when it formed part of the huge military fortress. Thousands of soldiers once lived and worked here, protecting the coastline. Today, all that remains are stones, ruins, the cannon, and a deep sense of history. As the sun went down, everything became incredibly quiet. There was only one caravan car. There wasn't any tourists, just the wind moving through the trees. Sometimes during the middle of the night, I suddenly woke up because I heard some strange sound outside the car. Good morning. Wow, look at this. This is what we wake up to. Just imagine we wake up in this view. Where could you find this kind of view? Here we are in this lonely road up in the hilltop of Åland. We're gonna have breakfast there. There's a table and chair. And we were alone. And let me tell you, last night was really strange. I don't know, am I too sensitive? Last night, LG went to the toilet, and after he came back, I heard some sound 2 times. In fact, there was like the car was shaking. I don't know. And also, I felt like there was something knocking against the car twice. It feels like it's an animal or something like that. I don't know. But then I look, we have this protection shield on our window. I saw it was like there's some lights that pass through. So I felt like somebody passed by. It's like a dark shadow. I don't know. If the car is not so. As you can see, the car is not very high. So if an animal were to pass by, then that animal got to be really big and really strong. So I don't know what that was, but it's kind of scary. At the same time, I tell myself, oh, calm down. Nobody can get into the car, or nothing can get into the car. So this is what happened. For the first time, I felt something really odd or really off. Oh, look, there's a sailing boat out there. Look at this view. It's going to be another beautiful day today. So we are going to travel in many different islands. Some islands you can just cross over with the boat, with this special boat. I'm not sure how it works. I heard it's free. And then there are some you can cross over the island to another island to another island with a bridge. So it'll be interesting to see how it feels like to travel like that. Whether are we wasting time or not? Because over those islands there's not so much of attraction. But I thought, since we are slow traveling, why not, do something that is what the people or the local people do. So to this day, I honestly don't know what it is. Perhaps it was only the wind. Perhaps it was the wildlife exploring the area. Or perhaps when you are surrounded by so much history in the middle of the night, your imagination becomes much more active. Whatever it is, I wasn't curious enough to unzip the window to find out because I was so scared. Needless to say, I didn't get much sleep that night. Otherwise, it was so peaceful, the view was awesome. That is what that caught us in car camping, that we could wake up in the morning with this view. Our last night, we spent while camping at a local beach. I thought that was a really nice place because nobody came swimming middle of the night. One question I often get, isn't Scandinavian expensive? Well, it can be, but this trip proved that with a little bit of planning, we really don't have to spend a lot to eat, to enjoy ourselves. Before we leave home, we pack most of our food. It need not have to be fancy, just simple meals that are easy to cook at campsite. For breakfast, we usually have hot tea, a bread with some peanut butter, tuna with eggs. It's a lovely way to start the day while listening to the birds and the wave. Lunch was whatever that was quick and convenient. Sometimes instant noodles with egg, sometimes sandwiches, left over from the night before. Nothing Instagrammable. But it keeps us full and gives us more time to enjoy the nature. For dinner, we cook easy one-pot meal like canned food, soups, chili con carne. The best part wasn't the food itself. It is sitting by the sea, watching the sun while enjoying a warm meal together. Of course, we also want to support a couple of local business. One afternoon, we stopped at a lovely cafe on top of the hill for a little fika. Another day, we tried a local fast food restaurant and enjoyed 2 burgers and some drinks. It was simple, tasty, and surprisingly affordable. By cooking most of our own meals and only treating ourselves once a while, we managed to keep our food budget low without feeling like we are missing out. To me, traveling on a budget isn't about saying no to everything. It's about choosing the experience that most matters. I much rather enjoy a picnic beside the Baltic Sea than spending a lot of money in an expensive indoor restaurant. Sometimes the simplest meal creates the happiest memories. Don't you agree? Years ago, I thought holiday meant seeing as many attractions as possible to make our money worthy. Now, I realize the quieter the holiday, the happier I become. Less rushing, less noise, less shopping, less stress, more forest, more sea, and more silent. That's the kind of holiday my hearts remember. There's something I haven't told you yet. During our drive back home up north, my partner's shoulder injury flared up again. After driving about 6 hours, he could barely move his arm comfortably. We even have to use a shoulder straps to support his arm so that the muscle could relax. Seeing someone you love in pain changed the mood of the trip. It reminds us that sometimes the best travel plan is simply to slow down. We went for one paid attraction, which is a visit to a beloved author's, Annie Blomqvist's home. She is one of Åland's most famous writers, born and raised in Åland archipelago and become famous for these Maya novels, which tell the moving story of life in this rugged island. Her book captured the beauty, hardship, and resilience of people who live there, making her one of Åland's greatest cultural icons. How much did we spend on this entire road trip? Here is our total cost for the whole journey from North Sweden to Jönköping, visiting families and friends, taking the ferries to Åland, and spending 4 days and 3 nights car camping. The fuel is 180, the ferry is 120, the food is around 200, and accommodation is 0 because we slept in the car and stayed with family and friends when we were in Sweden. And for the attraction, which is visiting to the home of the Annie Bromqvist home, it costs only $4 for 2 of us. So that brings us to the grand total of $504 for this entire trips. To be honest, when I look at the final number, I was pleasantly surprised. For just over $500, we traveled across Sweden, attending families' funeral, reunited with families and relatives, and spent precious time with dear friends, explored the beautiful island of Åland, woke up in this incredible sea view, enjoying peaceful forests, and create memories that stay with us for a long time. This experience reminds me that meaningful travel doesn't have to be expensive. You don't need luxury hotel. You don't need fancy restaurant every day. And you certainly don't need to visit every tourist attraction to have a wonderful holiday. Sometimes all you need is a reliable car, simple home-cooked meal, a beautiful place to park for the night, and someone you love to share the journey with. As a HSP person, this slower, quieter way of traveling brings me much more joy than rushing from places to the other. I came home with a tired body, but a very full heart. This trip wasn't perfect. We experienced grief. I was worried about my partner's shoulder. I had experienced the strangest night I've ever experienced while sleeping in the car. And by the time we got home, I was completely exhausted. But despite of all that, I came home feeling peaceful. Because of the trip reminds me that happiness doesn't always come from expensive hotel, busy attractions, trying to see everything. Sometimes happiness is found in the quiet road, with simple meal, sleeping beside the sea and the forest, and knowing when it's time to slow down. And maybe that's the best souvenir we brought home. If this video has inspired you to try slower, more budget-friendly way of traveling, I love to hear from you in the comment. What kind of trip would you dream of taking? Thank you so much for coming along this journey with us, and I'll see you in my next adventure.